This is my persuasive speech. My name's Hannah Rankin. Have you ever watched a violent act on television that has impacted you in some violent way? Maybe it was the Columbine school shooting, or 9/11 when we saw Americans jumping out of a burning building. It might even be the PlayStation game you play all the time. Whatever it is, there is always something violent on the TV. Today, I am going to talk to you about how television affects children's behaviors, learning abilities, and physical fitness. Television has become the most important family member in many American homes today. Many children spend more time with their TV than they do with their mom, dad, siblings, or friends. Because they spend so much time watching television, what they see and hear starts to affect their behavior. On average, American children spend 4 hours daily or 32 hours weekly watching TV. In today's world, there's even more ways to access television. Not just from the TV, but from tablets, cell phones, and even gaming systems. This is increasing the amount of time children have access to watch TV. Watching this much TV can affect the child in many harmful ways. Children's personality are easily affected from watching too much TV. It can influence their actions, emotions, and how they handle everyday situations. Children see so much violence on the television, they can come to believe that this is an acceptable way to handle many everyday situations. From our morning news shows to cartoons, there are many violent acts involved within them. The other popular way to use a TV is through the gaming system. Games usually have violence involved within them. Children love to imitate their favorite characters of their favorite show or game. This can seem like simple play, but if it's influenced by violent acts watched on TV, it can easily lead to violent behaviors on the playground or at school. One factor that has been proven to affect this outcome is having the parent watch the show with their child. The parent can stop the child from watching the inappropriate content by turning off the show or changing the channel. Another factor that affects behavioral changes are associated from watching television is having the parent talk to their child about what they have just watched. Many times, children think it is all right to watch violent shows on television if not told otherwise. Studies have shown discussing the television program with your child can drastically reduce a child's negative behavior and their perception of right and wrong. Now that we know how much television can impact a child, we have to think about the violence they have watched on the TV. According to Dr. Gerbner of the Annenberg School of Communications, the average cartoon had 6 times the violence of the average adult television drama. Another study showed that an American child will view around 200,000 violent acts and 16,000 murders by the age of 18 on the TV. So it comes as no surprise that television can teach children many negative behaviors. After seeing this much violence, you can see why a child begins to think this is normal behavior. Children and young adults easily become immune to violent behavior frequently portrayed on TV. Violent acts can seem as fun, exciting, and they may become less sensitive to other people's sufferings. This can be confusing for a young child as a parent tries to teach their child why it is wrong for them to commit violent acts against others. But then TV portrays violence as humorous, and many times the consequences of violence are not shown. This influences the child to believe that their parents are just being unfair. Studies have shown young children are at a higher risk of becoming aggressive after watching violent shows, along with children from abusive homes and children that have learning disabilities. Girls are more often the victims of violence on the TV. This can make young girls fearful of the world around them. As we all know, there are many television programs that are scary in nature. These shows can result in a syndrome called scary world syndrome. This syndrome results in children having bad dreams, anxious feelings, and also having the feeling of being alone. So if all of this was not enough to persuade you to not let your child watch too much TV, let's discuss the disabilities that result from watching too much TV at a young age. Research claims that attention deficit disorders are a result of watching TV. According to Dr. Ellen Abel, a family child development specialist, says one explanation for the problem of ADD results from watching too long periods of TV, which can slow or decrease brain development that is responsible for self-control, moral judgment, and attention. Researchers have found that a child should avoid screen time from birth to the age of 2. If they do watch TV at this young age, they have a 28% increase of developing attention deficit orders by the age of 7. Another study done by the Canadian Pediatric Society showed that even 1 to 2 hours of daily television viewing for a school-aged child has a harmful effect on school performance. So you can see why learning disabilities like ADD can be tied to television viewing. When you think the average 8-year-old watches the minimum amount of 28 hours of television a week, it is easy to see why developmental delays to begin. Finally, television has been identified as contributing to childhood obesity. Childhood obesity is a major problem in today's world. It can create problems that can affect them for the rest of their lives. Children watching the TV's light for too long can cause excessive weight. There's a link between childhood obesity and television. Children who watch 1 to 2 hours of TV a day, as opposed to those who watch less, are more likely to be overweight and obese. Researchers analyzed data from young children about lifestyle factors that affected a child's educational performance, which included the numbers of hours a child watched, and found children who watched 1 hour television a day were 50 to 60% more likely to be overweight and 65% more likely to be obese, compared to kids who watched less than an hour. According to Media Awareness Network, television cuts into the time children need for physical development. Most of children's free time should be spent in physical activities and not watching the television. If the child's parent is overweight, this increases the chances of the child becoming obese. Then the child is likely to watch 30 more minutes than the average child. Television encourages us to have an unhealthy lifestyle and provides unhealthy images of food and promotes unhealthy habits. It takes away time from physical exercise, and there is more time to snack on unhealthy foods. It is more common to consume more calories while watching television. Just the act of watching television leads to obesity. Also, many times people eat junk food and drink pop while in front of the TV. It is shown in many studies that children who watch plenty of TV as a child have a higher risk of obesity as an adult. Now that we have discovered the negative effects of television on children, I hope that I have persuaded you to be mindful about the amount of time and the content that you and your child watch. These are the 3 sources that I used. From University of Michigan Health System website created in August of 2010, from Kids Health website created in January 2015, from American Academy of Children and Adolescent Psychiatry created in December of 2014. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, thank you all.
That was good.
That was a lot better. I'm glad you flubbed that.